Good morning. You are listening to Florida Commercial Real Estate Radio. I am your host, Doug Dennison, and we are broadcasting from beautiful St. Augustine, Florida, the nation's oldest city at WFOY 1240 AM studios. I will have a co-host, Jerry Anderson, ccim from Sperry Van Ness, Commercial Real Estate Advisors in Palm Beach County, Florida, will be calling in today. Through the power of this internet, this program is being streamed worldwide on 1240news.com. The show will also be archived on svn.com as Sperry Van Ness Commercial Real Estate Advisors in Florida are the sponsors of this program. Additionally, the show will be posted on youtube.com. We're going to be talking about commercial real estate, different commercial real estate markets across the country, across the state of Florida. We've got a lot of topics today. Hopefully, we've got Jim Morgan on the line. Jim, are you with us?
Good morning, Doug. I am with you. You're loud and clear.
Wonderful, wonderful. Jim, tell us a little bit about yourself and your company and where you're located, sir.
Doug, I'm celebrating my 40th year in commercial real estate in Northeast Florida.
Wow.
I joined Sperry Van Ness in 2001 as their first Florida designee or affiliate, and we have an office based in Jacksonville, Florida. We have an associate who has a degree from the University of Florida and a master's in real estate program, and we work very closely with the Sperry Van Ness Asset Recovery Team and do a general practice due to our depth of experience and education in most product lines by collaborating with the SVN product teams and leaders from across the country.
Well, very good. Tell us a little bit about Sperry Van Ness all across the country, if you will.
Well, Sperry Van Ness is one of the fastest growing franchise operations in the country. We have grown in recognition to 10th of the commercial brokerage firms in the country over the last few years.
Wow.
And we now have probably about 1,000 agents across the country that are in about 160 markets. And one of the two things that attracted me to and that I really like about Sperry Van Ness is a proactive covenant to cooperate with other agents so that we bring all the potential parties to the transaction, getting the highest and best value for our customers. And the spirit of collaboration where we work as a team across market areas and across boundaries to provide excellent expertise for our customers.
Very nice. How far do your services, what is the range for you, Jim?
Our actual franchise area is from Palm Coast to the 7-county market area around Jacksonville.
Okay. Very nice, very nice. You have kind of worked on a great plan today. We're expecting to have Norm Gregory on. Tell us a little bit about Norm before he gets on. We'll kind of lavish some praises on him.
Norm is a little bit of an unusual economic development expert. He is the Vice President of Economic Development for the St. Johns County Chamber of Commerce, but he is a longtime real estate professional in Northeast Florida. He's a certified commercial investment member, and I've gotten to know Norm over the years, both through real estate organizations and through working together on different transactions. We're both certified commercial investment members, and he brings a high level of comprehension to the St. Johns County Chamber, and I think that will be evidenced in many of his comments as we talk with him this morning.
Well, that's great. Now, CCIM, tell me a little bit about that. You gave me the definition of it, but what's it mean to you to be a CCIM?
Well, I think a certified commercial investment member is what I'll call the most coveted designation in the real estate profession. There are probably 1 million some odd NAR members, and only about 15,000 of those members have obtained the CCIM designation.
Wow.
It combines over 160 hours of coursework and study together with a portfolio of experience, so you not only have the theoretical analysis of market information and analysis information, but you have the practical implementation experience to go with it. And so that really sort of sets those professionals apart.
Well, it takes a lot of time, but also takes money, not only for the courses, but traveling to places, and it may take a few years to actually graduate. Is that correct?
Oh, that's correct. I actually, the year that I obtained my designation, which I believe was 99, I wound up having to go to Toronto to take the review courses and the test, which was a fun trip, but it was all spent in sort of really detailed study.
You know, it's funny because people, because I travel a lot too, and people say, "Oh, you're going to Denver, you're going here," and it's like, wow, you must be having a great time. And a lot of time, you're just in a hotel doing hard work, and no one gets that, of course. But you also, because of the fact that you've been around so long and doing such a great job, you get referrals from other brokers across the country, and then sometimes maybe you actually get somebody that's one of your clients or somebody that needs help out of the area. How does that all work, Jim?
Well, you're absolutely right. Probably 30 to 40% of our activity here are SVN members or CCIM members who know of our activity in Northeast Florida and who ask us to help a client or somebody that is coming to this area either to invest or has an asset from where they may live, where they have invested in and now need marketing or assistance with that asset in Northeast Florida. And so we work out cooperative fees with them that are fair based on the work effort and the activity level. And we do the same thing when we have clients that have needs in other areas.
Well, I've talked about this to Jerry Anderson, and Jerry is my co-host, and of course you know Jerry. He's, I'm not sure exactly the title, but he kind of takes care of the Florida area for Sperry Van Ness. And we talk about how people get deals, how people get referrals, how do you, grow your business. And a lot of it, from what I see or from what I understand, when you do a good job for somebody, they tend to just, be a big fan of yours who praises you, and it's so much better to have someone who praises you and tell other people than you tell everybody that you're good. Do you get a lot of business from repeat customers?
Yes and no. Over time, I think that works, but when you're dealing with transactions that are $1 million or more, a lot of those individuals, particularly that are non-institutional, don't necessarily have frequent repeat transactions.
Got it.
So it's more who they may know or who they may refer you to or who they're talking with that has a problem, and they say, well, you may need to talk with this agent in Jacksonville. They did a good job for us. But direct repeat business is in our most frequent market sector is probably $500,000 to $5 million. And when you start looking at people that have multiple assets in that range and that would turn them over frequently, there's probably less than you initially think.
Okay. What do you see for the current marketplace? What's your crystal ball? What's happening now, and what do you see in the next year or two?
Well, I see a lot more activity. I believe we're seeing a return of consumer confidence cautiously. So I believe you will see more leasing activity, and you will see more transactional activity as people are able to obtain financing, and there's better financing in the market today than there has been. So I believe you'll see a continued growth trend in those areas. As that progresses, I think by mid-2014 to 2015, there will probably be some rate adjustments that will have a little bit of a calming effect on the activity in the market. And yet we will be much healthier than we have been. Population growth has returned and is increasing in Florida. And so I generally see positive activity for the real estate area.
We've talked about this before with Jerry Anderson. It seems like California and Florida hit the big growth spurts in housing and real estate, and then all of a sudden, when things go down for the entire economy, it seems like Florida and California go down more than anybody. So we're kind of trendsetters, and so are we really the trendsetter now as far as is growing up again and really raising our levels of transactions, all that kind of stuff? How are we doing across the country? What's Florida doing? Excuse me.
I believe Florida's growth rate is reestablishing itself.
Okay.
I believe our unemployment figures are beginning to show improvement. And,
okay.
I'm trying not to talk about St. Johns County since Norm hopefully will be joining us in just a moment to do that.
I know he had a big client, and so if he's late, we understand that completely. But you tell us what you think as far as your area.
Well, I believe we're going to continue to see Florida's growth rate, and we are getting a fairly significant number of not high-wage jobs, but job recovery, and much of that is because Florida is a inbound tourist state, and we have a high level of tourism in the state. And because of that, we have a lot of service-related employees that are being reemployed and expanded in their employment as those growth numbers have reached levels that are equal to exceeding historic numbers. But we're also working on a variety of programs that improve the attractiveness of Florida to high-wage industries. And St. Johns County is a great example of that, where Northrop Grumman has just added 1,000 jobs.
Ooh.
That was announced in March.
Okay.
And created a center of excellence for their manned aircraft design program. And that along with some of the medical programs that are being done around the state that are attracting research and grants. Florida has just announced the largest, most powerful computer at the University of Florida in the state.
Wow.
And so we're moving in the direction of higher growth and higher employment that will continue to be a keynote. Florida's population has always been a fairly positive growth factor, and as our density of population grows, we will have a little slower growth rate, but we will continue to be one of the fastest growing states in the country.
Do you have any properties that you're kind of excited about? You may be involved in them, or other people may be involved in your area that seems exciting to you?
Well, right now, most of the properties we're dealing with are related to economic recovery. And
okay.
I'm not sure how you relate excitement to properties that, in effect, have, for one reason or another, become distressed, either through financial timing where things are due, or to underperformance, which may either be due to ownership or market conditions.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the things we're working on have sort of those issues around them. So I'm not sure if we're excited to be working on them, and we're excited about finding positive solutions, but I'm not sure that they are what I would label exciting properties.
Are you doing less distressed properties now than you were 3 years ago, or more?
Well, I think we're probably seeing more opportunities for owner users and more opportunities for what I'll call stabilized properties. some of which have been distressed and have reached a level of stability and occupancy that sort of take them out of that range. So yes, there's less in terms of the percentage of assets in the market that are being marketed. I think there's a little less of the special asset type activity, but there will continue to be that type of activity over the next year to 2 years.
There's been a lot of discussion about ports and maybe more business regarding seaports. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would, Jim.
Well, I think as the economy recovers and as you have more consumer consumption and more activity, you will see the ports start to have more product coming in from abroad as well as locally. And certainly Jacksonville is working hard to prepare their port for a new generation of vessels and activities. And they have the world's largest carrier, Mitsui Overseas Lines, in the port, and they're going through right now a search for the right type of leader to take us into the next generation of port activity. And there was a lot of excitement over one of their potential candidates who they thought really re-spoke to a sort of a different version of the vision for the port. And I think that will have benefits, even though that party wound up not being the new port director. It gave them an opportunity to see themselves from a different viewpoint, and I think that will impact their next selection.
What's happening downtown in Jacksonville? Is any kind of new things happening that may be pushing more people downtown? What's your take on that?
Well, I think downtown is a very interesting circumstance. They just had the One Spark activity here, which brought a lot of people into the downtown market area. 130,000 people presumably came in over about a 4 or 5 day period to see the different levels of activities that were being proposed. But what's really happening is the new county courthouse is finally completed after many delays over the years, and we're beginning to get residential activity downtown. And there's a sense of destination that is coming because of the sports facilities, the renewal of the downtown activity. There are 2 new projects that have been announced. And I think that all of those things together are going to sort of solidify with the resurgence in the economy, interest in the downtown market area. People are announcing they want to be downtown and they want to be a part of that sort of central market area activity. And so as those things happen, I think we will, and I think gas consumption may be playing a little bit of a role in centralizing activity. It makes you a little more conscious of how far you drive,
yeah,
from a suburban area to
yep.
a business center.
Sure.
And so I think that will work 2 ways. It will create some levels of business activity close to residential areas, and it will create sort of a sense of a more dynamic central node.
Well, I know in our area right now we've got the TPC. Tiger Woods is roaring again, and does that kind of event? Can one kind of event really bring in lots of money for the area and tourists and dollars that really affect the market and maybe in a way businesses say now that I'm here, I might be interested in moving some of my branches here, or maybe I'll move my company here because this place is just beautiful. I mean, is there anything that like events do to attract businesses?
Oh, I think the combination of the TPC and the Marriott Sawgrass and the Ponte Vedra Club and the Amelia Island Omni Plantation,
Mm-hmm.
all of those things bring in a high level of guests. I just saw where the Amelia Island Plantation resort was consistently ranked in the top 10 family resorts in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And you put an event like the TPC with all its national publicity, and hopefully we're going to have great weather for that. That has to influence people that are visitors that are coming to see So that, I mean, I think is not a resort or an economic comment, but is a great comment for the overall health of the region.
Well, Jim, I think probably Norm is still with his client, and I want him to be there because he's bringing in new business, potential clients to bring in their business and more employee work for our counties, and so that's a wonderful thing. You have been a wonderful guest on the show. How do people get a hold of you, Jim?
Well, they can email me at morganj@svn.com or call our office at 904-346-3668.
Okay, do that one more time for us, Jim.
904-346-3668.
Well, very good. Jim, thank you so much for being on the show. We will get Norm on another time because really want to hear from him, but I'm thrilled that he's out there really pumping the flesh for our area and bringing in more business, more transactions in the commercial real estate field. I like that. So, again, thank you, Jim, so much for being on the show. You have a wonderful weekend.
Doug, thank you. I enjoy your show and appreciate the opportunity to be with you.
All right. Take care now.
Okay.
Bye-bye.